Timmu is a rich, cold CEO who's been single for years because he only cares about work. However, everything changes when he's forced on a blind date, and the woman turns out to be his own employee. But he ends up liking her and wants to date her for real. Let's go back to where it all begins. Our handsome Timmu finally flies back to Korea to take over his grandfather's company as the new president. On his way out of the airport, Timmu notices a weird food advertisement from his own company. Annoyed, he orders his secretary Sung-hoon to bring him the person responsible for designing that brain rot ad. At the company, researcher Hari is busy preparing a fish recipe when she suddenly gets a call from her manager asking her to head to the ceremony. The moment she leaves the lab, everyone starts complaining about her being stanky. At the ceremony, employees are excited to meet the new president. Timmu is supposed to give his inaugural speech, but instead, he sends Sung-hoon in his place. This instantly upsets his grandfather, Chairman Daegu. While somewhere else, Timmu is meeting the advertising team, including Mr. Park, the man fooling around with the chairman. Timmu quickly sees through Mr. Park's shady behavior and warns him about his corruption and misuse of company funds. That night, it's Hari's birthday. She asks for time off after receiving a message from her longtime crush, Minwoo. Her best friend Young Seo convinces her that Minwoo is about to propose. But Hari's fantasy shatters when she accidentally crashes into Minwoo, ruining a cake that turns out to be meant for someone else. Minwoo ends up giving her concert tickets instead and casually tells her to take some other guy with her. Meanwhile, Chairman Daegu scolds Timmu for skipping his speech, then suddenly tells him to stop being such a workaholic and rest. By rest, he means getting married. The chairman proudly reveals that he has arranged 20 blind dates for Timmu. Timmu refuses, but Daegu emotionally blackmails him by pretending his heart condition is getting worse. Still, Timmu refuses to marry. The next day, Timmu informs his grandfather that he plans to fire Mr. Park for corruption. Daegu agrees, but only if Timmu accepts blind dates. Left with no choice, Timmu agrees, making his grandfather very happy. That same night, Hari gets into a fight at her family's restaurant with the neighboring shop owner. She accidentally injures him and breaks his shop sign, leaving her with a huge repair bill. Completely broke and stressed, she breaks down. Later, Young Seo meets Hari and laughs about Minwoo completely ignoring her feelings. But then Young Seo gets a call from her father, reminding her about her blind date. Since she wants a love marriage, she begs Hari to go in her place. Hari refuses at first, remembering the disaster of their last fake date, but eventually agrees when Young Seo offers money to cover her losses. So Hari dresses up like a total red flag, planning to scare the guy away. But she freezes when she realizes her blind date is none other than Timmu, the president of her own company. Still, she goes all out acting wild and ridiculous. Timmu doesn't even flinch, and Hari leaves convinced she has successfully scared him off. She celebrates her success with Young Seo at karaoke, but Timmu has other plans. To avoid meeting 19 more troublesome women, he decides to marry his very first blind date. When Young Seo hears this, she panics and begs Hari to fix the mess she created. Soon after, Sung-hoon runs into Young Seo at the supermarket. Neither of them knows who the other really is, but Hari immediately falls for Sung-hoon at first sight and regrets not asking for his number. Back at work, Hari panics, terrified that Timmu will recognize her. Young Seo assures her it won't happen, and sure enough, when Hari meets Timmu in the elevator, she hides her face, acting dumb. Timmu notices her employee card and casually remembers her as someone who once did a good project, but the chaos isn't over. Young Seo begs Hari again to go on another date. Hari tells her to just confess the truth, but still ends up agreeing one more time. This time, Hari directly tells Timmu that she refuses to marry him. He suggests they go on 10 dates to get to know each other first. She still says no and storms off. On her way out, Hari nearly runs into her crush, Minwoo. Panicking, she jumps into the nearest car, only to realize she has climbed into Timmu's car, the same guy she just rejected. Timmu keeps wondering, if she never wants to see him again, then why does she keep getting close to him? When he confronts her, she once again refuses his proposal. But Timmu bluntly says he will marry her anyway. That is when she completely snaps and insults him, saying she could never marry someone who looks like an Archaeopteryx. Of all the things she has said so far, this one hurts the most. Later, Sung-hoon shows Timmu an actual picture of an Archaeopteryx. Tae-moo is mortified as Sung-hoon quietly mutters that the girl might not be wrong, which only irritates him even more. That night, Hari tells Young-seo to go meet Tae-moo and clear everything up already. Young-seo, however, starts talking about the handsome guy she met at the convenience store and hopes to see him again. The two get overdrunk, completely wasted, and are brought home by the police, turning into a crying disaster. Hari's mom turns out not to be less than Jien's mom, losing her temper and sending them straight to their room. The next morning, both girls beg Hari's mom for forgiveness. Meanwhile, Mr. Daegu is already planning the wedding venue and dreaming about great-grandchildren, leaving Tae-moo completely stunned. Around the same time, Young-seo messages Tae-moo to meet again. Hari keeps telling Young-seo to explain everything to Tae-moo and admit that she was only hired to attend the blind date on her behalf. But Tae-moo assumes Young-seo called because she realized he is too good to reject and was just rebelling against her father. Sung-hoon reminds him that the girl literally compared him to a dinosaur. At work, Hari discovers that her coworker, Hye-ji, is secretly dating Minwoo. Heartbroken, she nearly runs into Tae-moo and tries to escape. In her panic, she crashes into someone, slips, and her slipper goes flying straight into Tae-moo's face, giving him a nosebleed. Tae-moo spots her and starts chasing through staircases and elevators, slipper in hand. Sung-hoon suggests checking the research department since the girl was wearing a lab coat. Tae-moo finally catches her and realizes she is the same Hari who once did a great project. He still doesn't recognize her as his blind date. Hari apologizes repeatedly for everything. Later, Hye-ji returns and claims she is no longer seeing Minwoo because he rejected her. Hari leaves, but her manager notices her interest in Minwoo and tells Hye-ji about it. Elsewhere, Young-seo accidentally bumps her car into Sung-hoon's while parking, and as they both recognize each other, she hands him her business card. Sung-hoon reads her name out loud. Just as Tae-moo steps out of the car, Tae-moo realizes there is a problem and confronts Young-seo about faking her identity. When asked about the girl from the blind date, Young-seo lies and says she hired someone. Tae-moo doesn't believe her and threatens to involve the families unless she brings him that girl. At Sung-hoon's house, Tae-moo cleans and cooks, surprisingly feeling relaxed. Sung-hoon asks if he feels less stressed. When the topic of canceling the wedding comes up, Tae-moo explodes, saying that the girl wasted his time and made him say things he never meant. He swears he will find her and get revenge. The next day, Young-seo drags Hari out, treats her to shopping, and gives her another makeover. At a restaurant, Young-seo suddenly drops the bomb that Tae-moo is coming. Hari panics, but it's too late. Tae-moo walks in. She drops her bag and coupons from her family's shop spill everywhere. Tae-moo picks one up and starts asking questions. Hari finally admits she needed the money and had no experience pretending to be someone else. Tae-moo asks why she compared him to an Archaeopteryx. Hari admits she just said the first nonsense that came to mind to stop him from proposing. Tae-moo confesses that the insult caught him off guard because no one has ever said anything like that to him before. When he asks for her name, she almost gives her real one, then quickly changes it to Guillaume Hui. She apologizes and promises to help him clean up the mess she caused. Later that night, Tae-moo accidentally lands on an Archaeopteryx documentary while channel surfing and gets triggered. He immediately calls Hari just to make sure she hasn't changed her number, ruining her sleep. The next day, Tae-moo goes on 10 blind dates in one day. Every woman says she likes him because he is handsome. Sung-hoon comments that all of them seem better than the fake Young-seo. Tae-moo replies that at least she wasn't boring. Mr. Daegu asks how the dates went and hands him another book full of candidates. To avoid more chaos, Tae-moo shocks his grandfather by declaring that he already has a girlfriend he wants to marry and promises to introduce her soon. After work, Tae-moo calls Hari and tells her to meet him. She claims she is working overtime and suggests Rainbow Cafe instead. When Tae-moo arrives, he realizes it is a cafe with a massive children's play area. There he tells Hari he wants to start dating with marriage in mind. She panics, asking if he is in love with her. Tae-moo clarifies that he wants a fake relationship. He offers to pay her double for every meeting with his grandfather. Hari thinks about her constant debt and miserable life. Later, Minwoo calls her, wondering why she has been so busy lately. That night, Tae-moo calls again and tells her to come outside. He hands her a contract and orders her to memorize his profile before meeting his grandfather. She says she will think about it, wondering how she is supposed to fool both the chairman and the president. When Taemu asks why she is hesitating, Hari spots her brother Hamin nearby. Panicking, she pulls Taemu to hide, then suddenly pushes him away, and she ends up falling on top of him. Their lips accidentally meet, mortified. Hari apologizes and stays frozen on top of him until the coast is clear. The next day, Hari finally reads the contract and almost backs out when she sees the clause, saying she has to pay Taemu 100 times the amount if she denies anything. When Taemu threatens to expose everything to the company lawyer, she gives in and signs. From now on, she will pretend to be his girlfriend in front of Chairman Dagu. They set the rules that Taemu will introduce her as Guillaume Hui, and they will completely fake her family background to make her look like a perfect match. Sung-hoon hands Hari a slideshow full of Taemu's personal details, and she spends days memorizing it. Young Seo laughs, saying Hari never studied this hard, even for exams. During this, Hari also learns that Taemu's parents passed away and remembers the rumors that someone may have been responsible for the accident. When Hari proudly recites everything she learned, Taemu shuts her down, saying memorization alone will never fool his grandfather. She tries to impress him by inventing a romantic story about them meeting on a rainy day in New York, but Taemu immediately calls it nonsense because he hates rain. On the way home, Hari dozes off in the car. Taemu awkwardly tries to push her upright, but she ends up hitting her head against the window. He feels strangely shy afterward. When she leaves, Sung-hoon comments that Guillaume Hui is oddly endearing. Taemu says nothing, but later notices Hari's face smudged on the car window and lets out a small smile. Meanwhile, Young Seo fights with her father over the constant blind dates. Fed up, she moves out, and her father cuts her off by taking back her credit card. With nowhere else to go, she temporarily moves in with Hari. At work, Hari throws herself into a new company project that requires a chef. She recommends Minwoo, visits his restaurant, takes photos of his dishes, and prepares a full portfolio. Her idea gets approved, but when her manager asks her to present it herself, she panics, afraid Taemu might recognize Minwoo. Still, she goes ahead, hiding behind a mask and glasses. Around the same time, Young Seo finally finds an apartment she can afford, unknowingly renting the place right next door to Sung-hoon. Back at home, Taemu notices his grandfather watching a drama where the couple accidentally kiss. The scene reminds him of his moment with Hari, and he mutters that the drama is stupid. That night, Hari goes to share her good news with Minwoo, only to find him on a date with his ex-girlfriend, Yura. Completely crushed, she runs outside, dropping everything. Her phone falls into a gutter just as Taemu calls her. He hears her sobbing on the other end but hangs up when he realizes she didn't mean to answer. The next day, Hari meets Chairman Dagu as Guillaume Hui. She charms him so well that what was supposed to be a simple dinner turns into more. Dagu notices her concert tickets and insists that she and Taemu attend the event that very night. He even drops them off himself, leaving them no choice but to go together. At the concert, the singer reads out a song request from Minwoo, dedicating it to a friend who has always been there for him, and jokingly hoping she brought a boyfriend along. The song happens to be one that Hari and Minwoo used to love. Overwhelmed, Hari cries through the entire performance. Taemu quietly hands her a handkerchief. Later, while eating street food, a stray baseball suddenly flies toward Hari and hits her straight in the eye. Meanwhile, Young Seo is enjoying her new apartment until she spots a cockroach and completely loses it. She runs outside just as Sung-hoon is coming home and jumps onto him. After he gets rid of it, she asks him to be friends, but Sung-hoon coldly refuses, reminding her of the trouble she caused Taemu earlier. The next day, Hari shows up at work with a badly swollen eye and immediately runs into Taemu in the elevator. He instantly recognizes her as Hari. Panicking, she turns away and hurriedly slaps a bandage over her eye, hoping to avoid suspicion. Meanwhile, Minwoo helps Hari's team during the company's tasting event. Taemu also attends and surprisingly compliments Minwoo's white kimchi ravioli, clearly impressed by his skills. Hari completely panics and hides in the restroom just to avoid running into Taemu. Later, Hari eats with Minwoo at his restaurant. Their conversation shifts when Minwoo mentions the concert and says he hoped she brought a guy. When Hari confirms that she did, Minwoo casually concludes that she is innocent and bad at judging men at the same time. Hari is ready to clap back and tell him she can take care of herself, but Minwoo suddenly changes the topic to his girlfriend. At the same time, His unresolved feelings for Hari quietly surface, despite being in a relationship. Just as their conversation is about to continue, Tae-moo and Sung-hoon walk into the restaurant. Hari completely loses it and escapes the place in full panic mode. When Minwoo calls out her name, Tae-moo calmly sits down and starts talking to him. He casually asks how long Minwoo and Hari have known each other and whether they ever had feelings for one another. Minwoo hesitates but assures Tae-moo they are just buddies, unaware of how sharp Tae-moo's questions really are. Hari manages to escape with Young Seo and later tells her that Tae-moo is not as bad as she originally thought. Young Seo quietly wonders if Hari's feelings toward Tae-moo are starting to change. Back at the apartment complex, Young Seo confronts Sung-hoon about being cold and distant. She asks why they cannot even be friendly neighbors when they live in the same building. Sung-hoon stays distant and avoids engaging with her. That evening, Sung-hoon visits Mr. Dagu's place and looks through old photos. Tae-moo arrives and tells him to move back in. Later during dinner, Chairman Dagu admits he feels lonely and asks Sung-hoon to live with them, even calling him his grandson. Sung-hoon politely but firmly refuses, choosing his independence. Chairman Dagu then brings up Tae-moo and Ji-Hui's anniversary and forces them to spend the entire day together, even making reservations for them. The next day, Hari and the GoFood team head out to the countryside to shoot a commercial. Everyone is excited until Chairman Dagu unexpectedly shows up at the filming location. Hari panics and hides in the restroom. While hiding, she gets a call from Tae-moo telling her that his grandfather already knows about their anniversary, so they need to plan a fake celebration. Hari claims she is busy on a company trip, which annoys Tae-moo since he hates offices that force injured employees to travel. Things get worse when Chairman Dagu enters the restroom, complaining about stomach trouble. Hari panics, slams the door shut, but Dagu forces it open. In the chaos, Hari accidentally pushes him, and he falls into cold water behind the building. Back at the office, Tae-moo watches behind-the-scenes footage from the commercial and briefly notices Hari without realizing anything. Later, he rushes to see his injured grandfather. Chairman Daegu angrily complains that Hari caused his accident, comparing her to the elegant Ji-Hui, completely unaware they are the same person. Tae-moo surprisingly defends Hari, saying he likes her work. His grandfather then tells him to send Hari some health tonics. That night, Tae-moo suddenly appears outside Hari's house. Caught off guard, Hari runs out wearing a ridiculous bear costume and helmet to hide her face. She almost slips up when Tae-moo mentions his grandfather's accident, making him suspicious. She quickly covers it up. Tae-moo gives her eye cream and leaves, telling himself he only came to check on her injury, though it is clear he cares more than he admits. On Saturday, Tae-moo picks Hari up for their fake anniversary date, unaware that Mr. Dagu has secretly planned everything to mirror his favorite drama. Tae-moo takes Hari shopping, and she tries on several outfits. He stays calm at first, but with every outfit, he grows more flustered. Eventually, he buys her an expensive dress that she finds uncomfortable. They later move to a private dining space, and despite knowing their relationship is fake, Tae-moo starts feeling something real. Meanwhile, Young Seo joins a gym near her apartment and runs into Sung-hoon, who completely ignores her. Another neighbor approaches her and offers help, which only frustrates her more. From a distance, Sung-hoon quietly watches. In the gym bathroom, Sung-hoon notices that the neighbor can read a clock without glasses, making him suspicious. Later, the neighbor gives Young Seo one of his designs, a standing lamp. She feels uncomfortable but accepts it anyway. Back at dinner, Hari drops her purse, and when she bends down, her dress rips. Tae-moo immediately shields her from behind. As staff bring out a surprise and candles, the moment grows awkwardly intimate. After dinner, Tae-moo laughs about her ripped dress, while Hari shyly avoids his gaze. One of her shoes slips off, and Tae-moo kneels to put it back on, telling her to be careful. It is undeniably romantic. Still, Hari keeps her distance. As they walk by the river, fireworks light up the sky. Hari says it is pretty, but Tae-moo looks at her and says she is very pretty. He drops her home and thanks her for the memorable day, telling her to keep the dress. Hari hangs the expensive outfit she could never afford while her brother calls her to help at the shop. On his way home, Tae-moo catches himself smiling at the memories of their date. Then he realizes Hari left her wallet in his car. Determined to return it, he drives to her family's shop. There he is shocked to see Minwoo and watches him walk inside, completely unaware of his connection to Hari. Suspicious, Taemu opens Hari's wallet to check her ID and freezes. The woman he has been dating as Guillaume Hui is actually Hari, an employee at his own company. And just like that, everything starts to fall apart. At that moment, everything finally clicks for Taemu. Her strange behavior, her constant attempts to avoid him, all of it makes sense. Still stunned, he goes to the office and checks everything to confirm his suspicion. Meanwhile, Hari has no idea her secret is already exposed. At work, she gets a message from Taemu asking her to meet near the office. Nervous, but also oddly excited, she rushes over. Sitting across from him at a cafe, she has no clue why he called her. Taemu casually asks where she works, his tone calm but sharp, clearly testing her. Still trapped in her lies, Hari sticks to her fake identity. Taemu, already knowing the truth, calmly pulls out his phone and schedules a meeting with the food development team right in front of her. Hari freezes. Moments later, she realizes she has also been summoned to that same meeting. She arrives late and is greeted by Taemu's unreadable expression. During the meeting, he harshly criticizes her ravioli product, clearly targeting her. Sung-hoon notices the sudden cold treatment and later asks Taemu about it. Taemu admits he knows the truth about Hari and says he plans to make her realize what she has done. Completely unaware, Hari throws herself into work. She experiments with ravioli non-stop, hoping to impress him. Every time she presents a new version, Taemu rejects it without mercy. Frustrated, she finally confronts him, asking what he actually wants. For a split second, Taemu's heart races, but he quickly walks away. Soon after, Chairman Daegu visits the company for lunch and brings up the upcoming founding anniversary ceremony. He insists that Guillaume Hui attend. This puts Hari in an impossible position. Taemu later meets her as Jum Hui and orders her to attend the event. She makes excuses, but he reminds her of the contract and the penalty fee. Trapped, Hari realizes she has no way out. Young Seo admits she barely has any money left to help her. Meanwhile, Taemu goes to Sung-hoon's place to clear his head and ends up cleaning. There, he notices a package with Young Seo's name and realizes she lives next door. Young Seo later brings Hari to her apartment. Hari hides her face, scared Sung-hoon might see her. When Sung-hoon returns the package, he coldly tells Young Seo not to cross boundaries. Afterward, Young Seo vents to Hari, admitting she once saw him as her dream guy. Elsewhere, Sung-hoon talks with Taemu and admits he feels bad for Hari. He points out that she did nothing wrong as an employee and suggests Taemu apologize. Taemu insists his anger is about her dragging her crush into company business, but Sung-hoon clearly notices the jealousy. Taemu decides he will pressure Hari until she reveals her identity herself. Back at Young Seo's place, she talks about her strange neighbor who gifted her a lamp. Hari brushes it off as harmless, but the camera lingers on the lamp, revealing a tiny red recording light they do not notice. The next day, Hari receives shocking news. Her previous project wins a major award. She is thrilled until she realizes the award will be presented by President Taemu himself. Panic sets in. To make it worse, she receives flowers at home informing her that her family is invited to the event. That night, Hari dreams that she is exposed at the ceremony and publicly fired, only to wake up screaming as her ravioli burns. She burns her finger in real life. Taemu shows concern for a brief moment, but pulls back and coldly tells her to try again. Later, he wonders why he even cares. Young Seo and Sung-hoon run into each other at a restaurant. With no seats left, they sit side by side. Young Seo jokingly draws a line on the table, saying she will not cross it, even as she struggles to hide her frustration with his calm attitude. On the night of the ceremony, Hari drinks too much with her coworkers, overwhelmed by stress. Drunk, she calls Taemu, slurring her words and begging not to attend the event. Before finishing, she trips and the call disconnects. Unable to reach her again, Taemu grows worried and drives around looking for her. He finally finds her lying in a park, half drunk and mumbling to herself. Thinking she is dreaming, Hari confesses everything. She admits she is Hari, not Guillaume Hui, and apologizes for all the lies. Taemu listens silently, his expression unreadable. Hari's brother soon arrives, and Taemu quietly leaves. The next morning, Hari wakes up with a pounding headache. Unaware of what she revealed, she finds a message from Taemu saying she is fired and that the fake girlfriend contract is over. Shocked, she celebrates her freedom for a moment, though something still feels off. At work, she learns her ravioli was selected by Taemu after all, lifting her mood. Meanwhile, Taemu tries to forget her by going on a business trip with Sung-hoon, but he keeps seeing Hari everywhere. Both of them insist to themselves that this separation is for the best. Soon after, Hari receives a call from Chairman Dagu, inviting her to dinner. She cannot refuse. Elsewhere, Young Seo discovers something horrifying. The lamp her neighbor gave her contains a hidden camera. Realizing she has been spied on, she gathers the evidence and tries to go to the police. The neighbor blocks her path, snatches the broken lamp, and pushes her. Sung-hoon arrives just in time, chases the man, and violently pins him down. The hidden camera is thrown into the bushes during the struggle. Later, as Taemu prepares to have dinner with his grandfather, Sung-hoon calls and explains what happened to Young Seo. At the same time, Hari arrives for dinner. Taemu immediately grabs her arm and pulls her toward his car, saying they need to leave because Young Seo is in danger. Hari freezes. For the first time, he calls her by her real name. Hari is shocked and asks how he knows her name. Taemu admits he figured it out and urges her to hurry to the police station for Young Seo. They watch the recorded footage together. The culprit only receives a fine, leaving them frustrated. Taemu personally confronts the man and threatens him severely. At work, Hari avoids Taemu. He later tells Sung-hoon he has feelings for her and plans to confess with a necklace. He rehearses his confession carefully. During dinner, Hari hands him her resignation letter instead of talking romance. Taemu is hurt but accepts it for now. At a gathering with friends, Young Seo accidentally reveals Hari has a boyfriend. Hari mentions the concert date to cover it, making Minwoo jealous. The next day, Taemu tears up the resignation letter and rejects it. He then invites her to the cinema for research. Their faces come close to kissing, and she panics when coworkers appear, making Taemu crawl out of the theater. Taemu studies her social media and plans a business trip with her. At the beach, he becomes very attentive. On the way back, heavy rain triggers his trauma, and he leaves her on the roadside. Hari reaches a hotel and runs into Yura and the group, who demand to meet her boyfriend. Taemu dramatically appears, calls her darling, and introduces himself as her boyfriend, shocking everyone. Taemu smoothly handles the situation. They share a room to avoid suspicion. During dinner, he plays the perfect charming boyfriend, impressing everyone. The next day, he sends her dresses and acts jealous when Minwoo approaches. On the boat trip, Minwoo confronts Taemu, but Taemu firmly defends his feelings for Hari. He later confesses he is jealous and asks her to think about his feelings. Young Seo wakes up at Sung-hoon's place and tries to pretend nothing happened. Taemu gives Hari space, but misses her. After a week, during a shoot, he pulls her away from his grandfather's blind date setup. Hari kisses him suddenly, revealing her changing feelings. After the kiss, Hari says it was a mistake and runs away. Taemu is hurt. The next day, he takes her to an expensive restaurant and teases her about paying with a kiss. Sung-hoon and Young Seo's relationship develops with ups and downs, including a hiking trip where he carries her after she sprains her ankle. Taemu takes Hari to an amusement park. They enjoy the day, and he opens up about his parents. When her father is hospitalized, Taemu arranges a VIP room. Minwoo discovers the fake contract and punches Taemu. Hari and Taemu later meet on a bridge and share a real kiss, finally clearing all misunderstandings. Taemu sent Sung-hoon to meet Yoo-jung and explained that he could not pursue the blind date because he was already interested in someone else. However, Yoo-jung refused to accept the rejection and continued contacting Sung-hoon persistently. Even after he told her he had a girlfriend, she kept trying to win him over. Meanwhile, Taemu and Hari had finally begun dating officially, but hiding their relationship from Hari's co-workers was becoming increasingly difficult. At the same time, Yoo-jung's mother wrongly assumed the blind date had gone well, while Chairman Dagu was also misled and started making excited plans about marriage. Feeling guilty, Minwoo apologized to Hari for overstepping his boundaries. She forgave him but openly admitted she was now dating Taemu. The revelation clearly hurt Minwoo. Later, during lunch with Yura, he hesitated when marriage was mentioned and confessed he wasn't ready, creating awkward tension between them. One night, a drunk Yoo-jung showed up at Sung-hoon's apartment and confessed her feelings. At that exact moment, Young Seo arrived, turning the situation extremely uncomfortable. Sung-hoon tried to hide Yoo-jung's presence, but his nervous behavior only made Young Seo more suspicious. Hari and Taemu finally enjoyed a real date, pretending it was merely a company dinner to avoid suspicion. They both admitted how frustrating it was to keep their relationship secret, though Hari insisted they stay discreet for now, even as their feelings grew harder to hide at work. Later, Yoo-jung tearfully told Young-seo about being rejected. Without knowing the full story, Young-seo encouraged her to keep pursuing Sung-hoon. Taking the advice to heart, Yoo-jung went to the company to apologize to him. Their conversation was overheard by Chairman Daegu, who realized Tae-moo had never attended the blind date he had arranged. The chairman grew furious, but before he could confront Tae-moo, a sudden stomach pain distracted him. Meanwhile, Hari's co-workers were arguing heatedly about rumors of her relationship with the president. When Hari tried to calm them, she ended up hiding in the men's restroom and was caught by Chairman Daegu, creating another awkward moment. That evening, Tae-moo arrived to pick up Hari for dinner, but her co-workers joined them. The atmosphere started tense, but relaxed when Tae-moo joined the drinking and chatted casually with the team. At the same time, Young-seo invited Yoo-jung to dinner to cheer her up, only for the gathering to include Sung-hoon and his mother. Things turned awkward when Yoo-jung discovered Young-seo was dating Sung-hoon. Feeling betrayed, Young-seo confronted Sung-hoon about his loyalty. During the team dinner, a drunk co-worker noticed Tae-moo secretly holding Hari's hand and loudly pointed it out. Everyone laughed it off, assuming she was drunk. But after the others left, just as Tae-moo and Hari were finally alone, Chairman Daegu suddenly appeared and demanded an explanation. The confrontation between Tae-moo, Hari, and Mr. Daegu seems intense at first, but the tension eases when Hari's co-workers return to the restaurant to retrieve a forgotten phone. They run into Mr. Daegu and explain that it was just a team dinner, which temporarily clears the misunderstanding. However, Mr. Daegu already suspects Tae-moo is seeing someone. Instead of scolding him, he encourages Tae-moo to be honest and says that as long as he truly likes the girl, he will give his approval. Tae-moo promises to introduce her soon. Later, Young-seo confesses to Hari that she is thinking of breaking up with Sung-hoon. While talking, they notice Tae-moo and Sung-hoon together and decide to follow them. This leads them to an orphanage, where Sung-hoon reunites with the woman who raised him. She introduces herself to Young-seo, allowing her to see a deeply personal side of Sung-hoon. Young-seo learns that Sung-hoon arrived at the orphanage when he was only 5 years old. Tae-moo explains to Hari that Sung-hoon has lived with him since middle school and that Tae-moo's late parents supported the orphanage. This visit softens Young-seo's heart and makes her reconsider breaking up with Sung-hoon. Later, the four of them spend time at Hari's house while her parents are out of town. Things go wrong when Tae-moo spills a drink on his shirt. Hari takes him to change, but her parents suddenly return early. Panicking, Hari hides Tae-moo in her room and joins her parents at dinner, trying to act normal. Young-seo and Sung-hoon also act casual during dinner, while Hari looks for a chance to sneak Tae-moo out. She finally manages to get him outside, but they are caught by her brother, Hamin. Instead of getting angry, Hamin gets excited after learning that Tae-moo is the president of GoFood and happily promises to keep their secret. The next morning, Young-seo and Sung-hoon spend time together at the gym, but someone secretly takes photos of them. These photos are later sent to Young-seo's father, Tae-hyun, who strongly disapproves of her relationship with Sung-hoon. Meanwhile, Yura invites Hari to meet her and coldly tells her to stay away from Minwoo. She even admits that she cheated on him in the past. Minwoo overhears the conversation and is shocked. As Hari leaves, Minwoo follows her and asks if she ever liked him, but Hari tells him not to complicate his relationship. To lift her mood, Hari calls Tae-moo and asks him out on a date. While they are together, it starts raining, and Hari shares her umbrella with him, helping him overcome his fear of rain. Someone secretly takes photos of them and sends them to Mr. Daegu. On the way back, Tae-moo thanks Hari for always supporting him. She comforts him and leaves, saying she has to meet a friend nearby. Later, it is revealed that Mr. Daegu has summoned Hari and confronts her about pretending to be Tae-moo's fake girlfriend in the past. At the same time, Tae-moo receives a call saying that his grandfather is meeting Hari. He rushes back, but on the way, bright headlights suddenly blind him. Mr. Daegu tells Hari to leave Tae-moo, saying they have no future together. Moments later, Sung-hoon calls Hari with shocking news about Tae-moo's accident, leaving her completely stunned. Mr. Daegu quickly rushes to the hospital, leaving Hari behind. She follows soon after, but when she arrives, Mr. Daegu angrily snaps at her, blaming Tae-moo's accident on her. Just then, Taimu walks out with bandages, saying he is fine. Seeing him safe, Hari finally relaxes and turns to leave, embarrassed. Taimu stops her, grabs her hand, and openly tells his grandfather that he loves Hari. Mr. Dagu refuses to accept it and demands that Taimu end things immediately. Taimu stands his ground and shocks him by saying that if he is forced to break up, he will never get married or have children. This completely enrages Chairman Dagu. He insists everything about Hari has been a lie, but Taimu defends her, saying the fake dating idea was his fault and that Hari never wanted any of this. Later that night, Hari notices it is raining and worries about Taimu. She returns to the hospital and finds him standing by the window, lost in thought. Taimu opens up about his childhood trauma, revealing that his parents died in an accident while rushing home for his birthday. He has blamed himself ever since, wondering if they hated him for it. Hari gently reassures him, telling him his parents loved him and would want him to live happily, not in guilt. As they talk, Hari falls asleep beside him. The next morning, she sneaks home, only to be caught by her shocked mother. Meanwhile, Yura begins her revenge. She posts photos of Hari and Taimu online, exposing their relationship and falsely accusing Hari of chasing Minwoo. Social media explodes with hateful comments, and Young Seo immediately informs Hari. At the office, gossip spreads quickly, leaving Hari humiliated. One coworker finally shuts everyone up, saying Hari is family to them. Overwhelmed, Hari breaks down and hugs her team. However, when Taimu publicly addresses the issue as president, the situation worsens. Chairman Dagu orders the post removed, but the damage is already done, and Hari's team loses their project. Determined to protect Hari, Young Seo visits her family's restaurant to stop her parents from finding out about the scandal. Taimu later calls Hari, relieved that his grandfather knows the truth. He excitedly talks about wanting to go public and almost brings up marriage, but the call suddenly cuts off. Soon after, Taimu learns his grandfather plans to send him to America for 2 years, hoping distance will make him forget Hari. Taimu refuses, saying he will only marry her. Chairman Dagu then calls Hari in privately and pressures her to either transfer or be fired. Crushed by the ultimatum, Hari struggles to decide. When Taimu learns about the scandal and the pressure she faced, he blames himself and desperately tries to find her, even using Hamin's phone to reach her. Meanwhile, Young Seo's father invites her and Sung-hoon to dinner and surprisingly approves of their relationship, even offering Sung-hoon a business role. On the way home, Young Seo finds a small box in Sung-hoon's car and discovers a diamond ring. Overcome with emotion, she watches as Sung-hoon stops the car and proposes to her. Eventually, Hari checks her phone and contacts Taimu. When they meet, Taimu sincerely asks her to never disappear from his life again. Moved, Hari agrees. Later, at Taimu's place, the two finally embrace their feelings and share a heartfelt kiss, choosing each other despite everything. The next morning, Taimu wakes Hari up for breakfast, and she is visibly shy after spending the night together. Meanwhile, Young Seo thinks back to the night she went to celebrate with Sung-hoon after his father accepted their relationship. Just then, Sung-hoon receives a call from Young Seo's father, who threatens him to stay away from her. Young Seo overhears everything. Back at Hari's house, her mother grows suspicious about where Hari was the night before. Her doubts are confirmed when she sees Taimu dropping Hari off in the morning. She immediately confronts them, scolding both of them. However, the mood shifts when they find everyone gathered to celebrate Young Seo's birthday. During the celebration, Taimu formally announces that he is dating Hari with the intention of marrying her. Though shocked at first, Hari's family slowly warms up to him after seeing his sincerity. Later, Taimu speaks privately with Hari's father. Her father expresses concern about scandals and gossip and asks Taimu to protect Hari at all costs. Taimu promises that he will always keep her safe and happy. At the office the next day, Hari's manager informs Taimu about the project termination. Taimu immediately orders the project to be resumed. Hari later meets Minwoo for tea. Realizing his mistakes, Minwoo apologizes on Yura's behalf and admits he has broken up with her. He reveals that he plans to move to Italy for a while and hopes that when he returns, he and Hari can be friends again like before. Hari says it will not be easy, but she hopes time will heal everything. Meanwhile, Young Seo refuses to bow to her father's pressure. She boldly visits him and submits her resignation, declaring that she wants to build her own career on her own terms. Back home, Sung-hoon prepares a special birthday meal for Young Seo, leaving her emotional. When she shares her dream of starting her own business, Sung-hoon supports her fully and even offers to invest, though he insists she first prepare a proper business plan. Soon after, Tae-moo is informed that his grandfather has collapsed, but he already knows it was a dramatic act meant to pull him back. Still, Hari visits the chairman and takes care of him despite his grumbling. Over time, Chairman Daegu begins to see Hari as kind and genuine. Later, test reports prove that Chairman Daegu has real heart problems that require treatment in the United States. Tae-moo agrees to take him there and asks Hari to come along since he will be away for a long time. Hari refuses, fearing rumors and hardships. Though disappointed, Tae-moo understands. Before leaving, he asks her not to forget him and promises to return. 1 year later, life moves on. Hari continues working on the food development team. Young Seo and Sung-hoon grow even closer as Sung-hoon spends the year helping her build her business, proving that love and ambition can coexist. Tae-moo works in New York while his grandfather receives treatment. He stays in touch with Hari through video calls, though they become shorter and less frequent due to work. One day, Hari's brother shows her an article claiming Tae-moo is dating another woman. Shaken, Hari tries to call him but cannot reach him. Determined to know the truth, she decides to fly to America. Just as she is about to leave, Tae-moo appears in front of her. He returned early just to see her. Hari scolds him, but Tae-moo reassures her that the rumors are false and that he has never stopped loving her. He pulls out rings and tells her that his grandfather told him to propose properly. Tae-moo proposes to Hari, and the two share a kiss, finally completing their love story. Thanks for watching till the end. Please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more interesting videos like this.